our bodies are not valued at the same rate. We're looked as sounding different, looking different, and being from another planet, when the reality is we've been here since the beginning of time.
Today, the Trans Latina Coalition launched their report, The State of Trans Health.
We're going to find out what are the specific health needs of trans Latinos in Southern California.
What are some of the disparities and social determinants of health that impact and are barriers to trans people living healthy lives?
It's been a year in the making. I've been working with Bambi and the Trans Latina Coalition in putting this project together. Looking at the income distribution, close to 60% making less than $10,000 on a yearly basis, which then impacts a lot of other factors related to housing or accessing healthcare and getting your basic necessities to live in a dignified way.
Almost 20% of the participants reported that they're either homeless or living in temporary housing.
Only 20% of participants have full-time employment.
Almost 30% of the participants have no health insurance. This is one of the reasons why trans Latinos do not access healthcare services, because they are fearful or being mistreated for being who they are.
There was a time where I found myself unemployed, and I had to access care at LAC USC Medical Center. That had to do with my private area down there. And I needed emergency surgery, but none of the doctors felt comfortable in dealing with me. People are dealing with burdens in being able to access dignified health care. Human rights are trans rights are human rights. I am you are me, we are us.
Almost 77% of participants believe that spirituality is important to their overall health. It's important to their health, but it's also just important to having access to these services.
Being in my community, I hear constantly about how people get thrown out of churches. So many close people to me had parents bring them up to the church and tell everybody about their identity without their permission and say, we need to pray for this person and we need to do an exorcism, basically. All the shame that I was seeing my community experience, even though I wasn't getting it personally, I internalized it and I made myself feel that shame. I always wanted to create a camp where it was religious talk as well as every other kind of talk, because I never felt like LGBTQ people had a space to talk about religion. That's something that I learned in the church, come just as you are. That's what spirituality should be.
The report shows a lot of the places in which trans Latinos experience injustice and inequality. But at the same time, the report is trying to push forward ways in which we can actually support this community.
I am the director and founder of Mariachi Arcoiris de Los Angeles. In English, that would be Rainbow Mariachi, which is the first LGBTQ mariachi in the world.
This group being made and giving a platform for great musicians to express themselves, we're showing you visually it is possible. You can do it.
Bambi introduced me to other trans people, and for the first time I got to see myself in other human beings. That was insanely important.
I have seen Chris grow within his transition, and to me it's definitely a privilege that I can be part of his life.
We're really fighting against the system that isn't letting us kind of just realize, hey, we care for each other and how can we be good to each other. And I saw Bambi being able to do that, to continue doing that regardless of everything that was on her shoulders.
Today also we are unveiling a cohort of 10 individuals who took a leadership development training. You have demonstrated your determination to change the landscape of the livelihood of transgender people. We acknowledge and value your leadership and contributions to the betterment of the local transgender community.
It's a great opportunity to be part of my community. Every single trans woman have a lot to share with the world. and I guess we need the opportunity.
We're capable individuals that can contribute, and we have dreams and aspiration.
Health happens when we heal ourselves.
Health happens when you're honest.
Health happens with compassion.
Health happens in solidarity.
Health happens with trans power.